Well, hello there again. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. No, not good night, because you might go to sleep and miss the show, because we won't be long today. So on behalf of my assistant over here, Murray, we would like to welcome you to Kiwi Steve's Global Kitchen. And of course, a little story from around the world. And last time we were in Russia, but I want to go back to India this time because it's summer here, and I've been sleeping with the windows open, but I'm lying there in bed and it's very hot, and I'm trying to go to sleep, and then all I can do is hear zzz, zzz. There's so many of them. So I've got a little story to tell you about my time in India and my battle with the mosquitoes. Yes, but that's coming up. So what are we cooking today? Well, we're going to have battered snapper, but with a different type of batter, because a lot of people probably use, and I quite like, a bare battered snapper. And snapper is the premium fish of New Zealand. But here's the interesting thing. It's almost $50 per kilo here. That's a lot of money. But last weekend I went to a rural town on the coast called Dargaville, and there I met up with my good friend and stayed with him. And he is known as affectionately known as the Dargaville fishing guru, and his name is Chris Clownson. And he's a bit of an expert at catching fish. And I was shocked because we didn't go out in a boat. We took our lines and we fished from the shore. So we drove about 20 minutes and to find the road that we had to go along, and we drove along there. And from there we have to walk only 5 minutes, and then we go down over a little hill. But when we got there, because he's so well known, people are watching. They're watching for him, and there was a whole group of guys there, and they were fishing, but I'm not too sure they recognized him, and they saw us, and he whispered to me, "We have to go down the track very quickly without them seeing us, because if they found out our fishing spot, or his fishing spot, well, the whole of Dargaville would be fishing there, because the size of the snapper that he catches is quite unbelievable. Everything up to about 9 or 10 kg, but with fishing we always use pounds. I caught a 20-pound snapper. Well, really it's about 8.5 kg or something. So anyway, he took me to his fishing spot, and I'm telling you, I was getting my camera ready to video, and he cast out the bait, and straight away the line began to bend like this, and he's pulling it forwards and backwards, and pulling it, and then winding, and then pulling it, and I'm watching with amazement. His line had only been in the water a few minutes, and in he pulled a snapper about this size. My eyes were so big. Well, we caught two like that very quickly, but the tide was running out, and we caught a few other little ones, but we couldn't keep those ones. But anyway, when you go fishing with Chris Clownson, the fishing guru of Dargaville, you also have to go home, and we have the meal at his place. What do we have? Of course, battered snapper. And he has his own little recipe that his mother taught him many years ago. And it's a very different way to make a batter, because it's not a heavy batter, it's quite a thin batter. It's very interesting. So we're going to make that today, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about my battle with a few hundred mosquitoes in Madras, or Chennai now, in India. So what you have to do is, when you have your fish, whatever fish you're using, this is his little secret. It's very different. So you put the fish, well, I'm going to get the, here, let's say, here's my little piece of demonstration, my fish. I put it there in the bowl, and what's this? Yes, it's milk. So we pour the milk over the fish like that, and we put this in the fridge for 1 hour. So an hour's gone, and here we have our snapper. So we've still got the milk. It's been in there for at least an hour. So I'm going to drain the milk, what's off. The rest is absorbed into the flesh of the fish. And I'm using wholemeal flour. So we have our wholemeal flour here, and we're not even using an egg, and I quite like using eggs. So we're going to dip and pat. There we go. Our fish fillet. I'll just put it there for a minute, and I've got a little cube of butter. I like to use butter when I'm cooking with fish. With oil, you can make it a bit crispy, but you know, I kind of, butter is just enhances the flavor a bit more. So we'll get our second piece. Just dab that. There we go. Whoa, looks quite good. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a bit of Tuscan spices, just a little bit to enhance the flavor when we're frying it. There we go. Now, just get the butter a little bit more melted. There we go. Wherever I go around the world, I'm going to have to take my electric fry pan because I just love cooking with it. And it's so convenient because not all places you stay in would have an oven, for example. So electric fry pan is the next best thing. Now, we shall put our fillets in there. Oh, there we go. I'll put a little bit more of the spices on. Here we go. So we've got that frying. So it's quite a simple little dish. 1 hour with milk and the fillet. Bring the fillet out, put it in wholemeal flour, and if you want, of course, we need to put a little bit of salt in to enhance the flavor. Now, while that's cooking, I'm going to tell you about mosquitoes. One time when I was in Chennai and I was on my way up to the country coastal area or the state of Andhra Pradesh and the Rajahmundry, and it's a great train trip, and I've probably mentioned the train trip quite a few times, but I arrived in Chennai and I was feeling pretty tired that night, and anyway I put beside my bed what I needed for the evening just in case, and it was mosquito repellent. So I put that there. It was a roll-on one, and so I was pretty tired, so I really wasn't looking, and I turned the light off. But you know, I heard that sound again. And it's night and I can't see a thing. I wish they were luminous, you know, like stalagmites or stalactites, and have a little glow and I could see them and I could whack them. Just turn it up a little bit. Anyway, for about 40 minutes, I put the sheet over me and I tried to get myself away from these mosquitoes, and you know, in India sometimes the mosquitoes can be quite large, and the last thing you want to catch in an Asian country, well, subcontinent, is for mosquitoes you can get dengue fever. And I know somebody that did catch dengue fever, and it kind of keeps coming back. It doesn't really get out of the system, and not so much fun. So I didn't want dengue fever or any other particular tropical disease relating to mosquitoes. So after about 30-40 minutes of you know, the old whack massage, I gave up and I thought, right, I'm going to fix them now. Where's my mosquito repellent? So I fiddled around in the dark and I covered my body, and I was sweating and it was hot, and I don't think my room had air conditioning, so that made it even worse. And anyway, things did not get any better. What was going on? Because it seemed like they'd gone and told all their relatives, oh, there's a nice tasty little Western man here from New Zealand, and he's extremely tasty. And it was like every single mosquito in Chennai was attacking me. And all night I had this battle, and I didn't have much sleep. So in the morning, I was really annoyed. I thought, what stupid brand of mosquito repellent have I bought? So I looked, I turned on the light and I grabbed the mosquito repellent and I looked at it, and it said, roll on, underarm deodorant. Don't tell anybody, will you? But anyway, the mosquitoes had a good feast. I did not get dengue fever, thank goodness. So that was a great experience. But you know, I was in one place in a place called Visakhapatnam, in Vizag, and I will never forget the size of the mosquitoes there. They're the biggest mosquitoes I've ever seen anywhere, and you don't want to get bitten by one of those. So we're going to cook our snapper for probably, I don't know, 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes either side on a medium temperature, and that should do just nicely. And we can have that with a little bit of salad tonight, and some lemon. It should be tasty, very tasty. So that's it. What a quick show. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our show today, and maybe you could try this batter, the Fish Guru batter. Maybe we should market it around the world. Sounds like a good idea to me. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and you may go to sleep now if it's in the evening. So take care, and we will see you on another edition of Kiwi Steve's Global Kitchen. And if you're watching this, please subscribe, and might boost my numbers. So all the best, and we'll see you on the next show.